Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We still have just about a minute or so before we kick things off, so we'll just give it another minute. I see we have quite a few people jumping on and joining as we speak. We're excited to have you all here today. Okay, here come a few more people. Well, it's the top of the hour, so we will get started. So thank you everybody for joining us. We have lots to talk about today. We, of course, are here to talk about 5 ways that firearm dealers can leverage your distributors to save time and sell more products. So before we jump in, I just wanted to go over some quick housekeeping items. So the session will go about 45 minutes or so, and then at the end, we'll save time for some Q&A. So each attendee is in listen-only mode, but on the pane, you can see the section there called questions, and that's where you can send over a question. And you can send a question anytime all throughout the session, and then we will just wait and we'll answer all those questions at the end. If we run out of time and we don't get to each and all questions, we will absolutely still answer all the questions and we'll answer them via email. So that said, we're going to jump in. So our goal for today, really, of course, we're going to talk a lot about Second Amendment wholesale, and we're also going to talk a lot about us at Celerant. But our main goal is that everyone here today, regardless of if you're ordering from Second Amendment or not, and regardless if you're using our Celerant software or not, our goal is really that you learn and you learn new ways that you can lean on technology and new things that you can take back, hopefully, to your technology vendor and see what they're capable of to really just help you run your business better. So that said, let's jump in. So some quick introductions before we get started. I'll kick us off. My name is Michelle Salerno, and I am part of the Celerant team here. We have 4 offices. I work out of our main office, which is in New York. I'm working from home today in New Jersey, but I head the marketing team, and I've been with Celerant now for almost 17 years. Chris?
Yeah, hi, I'm Chris Tabone. I'm one of the senior sales executives here at Celerant Technology, and I work out of my home office in Illinois, and I've been with the company about 7.5 years, and working with the firearms folks for about 4 of those years. So which obviously a lot has been happening in the last 4 years, so it's been good. But with that, team Second Amendment, go ahead.
Sure. Hey, everybody. I'm Dylan. I'm the sales manager here over at Second Amendment Wholesale. Been here just at 2 years, but been in the firearms industry 6 years.
Awesome. And I'm Jaron Underwood. Nice to meet you all. Got my start in engineering and quickly found my way into sales. Was fortunate enough actually to have Dylan pick me up and give me a gig of a lifetime, I'd say. So nice to meet you all. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining us. And so then some quick introductions just about our 2 companies for those of you who aren't familiar with us. So at Celerant, we offer innovative retail software to manage your entire gun shop. So it's a complete system that manages your entire brick and mortar, every aspect of your firearm shop, and also your e-commerce. We launch e-commerce sites and design them and develop them in-house for our retailers, and also range software as well, and even digital marketing. So sort of a one-stop shop. All channels of your business in one software solution. We have 4 offices. I think I mentioned New York, which is where I'm out of, but also California and Georgia and Texas. And then we have team members all over the country as well. As Chris said, he's in Illinois. We've got about 1,700 retail clients using our software. We do hit a lot of different markets, but we have a really big footprint in the hunt, camp, fish space, which of course is why we're here today. And we've been serving retailers for 23 years. We have been a preferred software provider for the NSSF and the NRA for about 17 years, and more recently the NASGW and also the ATA, the Archery Trade Association.
And a little bit about Second Amendment Wholesale. First, I want to thank all of you dealers for joining us here. Couldn't be doing this without you guys. So thanks again. We really mean that. We appreciate you all. But as you may or may not know, we are 100% wholesale. We only work business to business. And as far as knowledge goes, we keep a very precise product line. And hey, if we don't know the answer, I mean, we're not all technical engineers here, right? I'm sure you're not either. So if we don't know the answer, we're happy to go digging for you and find whatever questions you may have. Really what we look to do is articulate how you want to sell this product to your customers, bottom line. And as far as our product line itself, we like to carry unique brands. We're pretty new. We're the new kid on the block as far as distributors go. I mean, no secrets there, right? So a lot of those bigger names still play hard to get. We got to earn our stripes there. And what we found to be successful for us in the meantime is to carry unique lines that really help distinguish us, therefore you, from the competition, right? So things like flamethrowers, and we'll get into that later. I don't want to get too spicy right now, but and then we also have distinguished ourselves from our competition even further with our allocation process, our allocation point system. And really, I mean, allocations are allocations. There's no fixing an imperfect market, imperfect supply and demand, right? But what we've done is create a system that shows transparency in our warehouses. We don't hide inventory from you guys. We let you know if we have it, if we don't have it, and we put you in the driver's seat on how you can put that product on your shelf.
Awesome. And one of the biggest takeaways for today's session is going to be any and all inventory that Second Amendment has in their massive warehouse, you can sell, and you can sell it easily and have fast and quick access to it. So that's what we're going to talk through today. So we've got 5 high-level topics that we're going to discuss, and I'll talk through those a bit. And then Chris is going to actually show some of the software. We're not going to do a full product demo. We're just really going to look at the integrations with Second Amendment so you get a feel for how this works, of course, in our software, but also hopefully it works in a similar way with whichever software you're using if it's made available. So first, we're going to talk about a catalog import. So instead of manually entering all of the Second Amendment products into your database, you can just pull the catalog import in, and you can literally import it without having to manually enter anything. So we'll talk through that. Next is the concept of automated ordering. So having your software generate a purchase order and then having it transmitted from your software to your distributor, and then being able to pull back acknowledgements as well. And then take that one step further and automate the process. Third, we're going to talk about online product feeds. And so this is a big topic for today. And it's how you can pull all of the products that Second Amendment or any other of your distributors has in stock in their facility, and you can sell it in your store and online, and really leverage all of that awesome product data that your distributors already have, which makes it much easier and more, more timely for you. And then number 4, in-store kiosks. So typically, when we talk about an online product feed, we all think about e-commerce and using those vendor feeds to power your website, but you can also use it to power your store and sell more of what your distributors stock in your store and capture more in-store sales as well. And then lastly, of course, we'll talk about drop ship. So in doing this and using all these online feeds, whether it's to your website or your store, and you're pulling all these products that you don't have in stock, you don't have it in stock. So you can't fulfill it from your store location. So you need to lean on your distributor to drop ship. And of course, we'll talk through that. We'll talk about even drop shipping firearms and how the process works for that. So let's jump in. First, we're going to talk about importing product catalogs with no manual entry. So Second Amendment has a massive catalog with all sorts of products. And as Jaron said, there's actually a lot of products that Second Amendment carries that other distributors just simply don't carry. And so with our software, you can pull in their massive catalog and help build your point of sale database.
And we really highlighted just a quick graphic of some of the heavy hitters that we've got in our inventory. I mean, just glancing at it, you can see, oh, unique product lines. Yeah, that's pretty clear, right? Anything from ARs, AR pistols, AKs, AK pistols, shotguns, handguns, to the, what the hell is even that? Cannons, flamethrowers. We were Franklin Armory's Dealer of the Year twice in a row now, so they make sure to get us some of those goodies as well. We get CZ binary featured there. So just a little sample, just a little taste.
And whenever I think about 2AW, I think of those flamethrowers, by the way. Just unique to you guys. I love that. But so on the technical side though, in looking at the software, so you can very easily import these product catalogs into your back office software. So the software image that you see there is a snippet from our Celerant back office software. And so there's a vendor catalog section. And so you just click on that drop down there and you can see all the different distributors that we have available. And now, of course, you have to be an approved dealer of those distributors in order to access all of this information. And this does have to be set up for you initially because different dealers have different, restrictions or pricing or whatever it might be. But all the different distributors that we integrate with will be available. And then in this case, you would click on Second Amendment from the list, and then you'll be able to view the entire catalog within the software. You can go through it, you can click, you can pick and choose what you want to import to populate your database. And Chris will be showing us this in a few minutes. But then also, if you've already imported the catalog, oh, my apologies. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry about that. If you wanted to go ahead and if you've already imported the catalog, then once you have that catalog already imported and you select the Second Amendment catalog again, it will show you, okay, this is an item that already exists in your database, and maybe if you want to pull in the updated records, or maybe this is a new product to you and you want to pull it in, but ultimately you can pick and choose what you want to select, and then you can import that easily into your Celerant back office software. And by doing this, you're eliminating the need to enter all of this product data. So you're not manually entering every single thing that you want to sell in your store. You're just pulling it in from the product feed. So next, let's talk about setting up automated replenishment with your distributors and being able to push purchase orders to your distributors electronically, but then also taking that one step further and being able to automate the process. Start leaning on your technology and letting it tell you when you need to order and how much. So currently, let's look at some of the different ways that you may be ordering your products. So you may be sending emails to, who are they emailing? You, Jaron, or Dylan? Sending emails to you guys, phone calls.
We don't hide ways to send us money, send us orders. You could send emails to our customer service team, they'll take care of you. We've got some sales reps that'll take care of you. You could just drop it in a bucket and one of us will find you, is the way we like to do it. So
right.
Email, phone, we'll call you any way we can.
Right. So there's a lot of different ways that you can send orders. Most of it is making a phone call, logging into the dealer site, or emailing, but with an automated solution, with a system like we're talking about today, you don't have to do any of that. All of the ordering is done from within your software, and you can create purchase orders, and then you can send it out to your distributors electronically. You can push the PO to them, and then you can pull back an acknowledgement, letting you know if they can fulfill it or not. And so first, let's talk about just creating the purchase order. So you're creating it in the system, and then you can send it out to your distributors. And then you're pulling back the acknowledgement. Now you can even prioritize your vendors. So if, for example, let's hope that Second Amendment is your vendor number one, right? That's our goal for today's call. But if, as much as I'm sure Second Amendment wants you to only order from them, we're all realistic and we know that you're probably ordering from more than one distributor. So you can set, different distributors in priority. And then if your Second Amendment can't fulfill it, then it can get pushed out automatically to the next and the next and the next until your entire order can be fulfilled. You can take this one step further and you can automate the process. And so you don't want to order too much. You don't want to order too little. You never want to have an understock or an overstock. You really want to have your inventory ordered just in time. It's an industry term that you have just enough when you need it. And of course, save your investment as well. So you can lean on your software and you can let the software tell you and help you place these orders exactly when you need it to get your inventory levels to exactly where your software knows it should be. So you can set your min-max levels at the product level in the software for each product. And then once the software sees that your inventory reaches a minimum level of whatever it's preset to be, then the software will automatically generate a purchase order to then get you to the maximum level. And then the system can automatically send that out to your distributor to fulfill. Now it's a scheduled task, so you could, stop it, review it, approve it. You have flexibility to do all that. But the concept is the system, the software is creating the PO based on what you're presetting the system, knowing what you want it to be. And then the whole process is automated. So it's saving you time and saving you effort, and it knows exactly when you need to replenish. You can also send POs based on sales volume, where you can do like a fill-in from sales as opposed to min-max. So you can set it up either way. And then, of course, you can set your priority rules, like I mentioned. So when the PO pushes out to one vendor, if they can only partially fulfill or they can't fulfill, then it can just automatically go to vendor number 2, and so on and so forth. And so it's saving you all the hassle and all the time of having to call this vendor, call that vendor, email this out, and try and figure out who can fulfill what to get your store stocked. So next, this is a big topic. There's a couple extra slides on this one because it's such a big part of the puzzle here. Pulling your distributors' online product feeds to power your website. So from our experience in working with dealers, typically the part that takes the longest and can be the most challenging when launching an e-commerce site is finding the product images, collecting everything you need, writing out your product descriptions, populating everything on the website, and getting everything posted so that you can sell all the products that you want to sell on your site. So you should lean on your distributors because your distributors have all of this awesome product data. They have all the product images. In some cases, they have multiple images. They have 360-degree images. They have product videos, depending on the vendor, will depend on what they provide, but they have the product data. They have the product descriptions, that romantic website copy, as they call it, that you want to display on your site for your consumers to see. They have all of that prepared. So why not lean on them, pull these online feeds, pull all of that product data so that you can then just flip it on your website and use what they already have. Let's not reinvent the wheel, right? So
right. I've got to reiterate that actually, if I could.
Sure.
As far as all those data points, if you could just pull back to the slide for me, we pull all those data points from the manufacturer if possible. So not only can you lean on that photograph being spot on the SKU that it should be, right? Being able to look at that photograph and it being accurate, right? Being able to deduce, okay, what's the barrel twist of this? You've got some crazy questions that'll sneak up on you and you're like, well, I don't know everything about this gun. Boom, it's all on your site automatically. You didn't have to do any of that yourself. And actually, we've even, like you said before, like Michelle had leaned to, we've got videos on there, and I actually strategically placed this handgun that I purchased, Steyr A2. We've got the Steyr torture test on the product listing on our site, and that is 110% the reason that I own this pistol, because I saw that video and I was like, oh man, I need it. So, and also to add on that, we've got James creating videos for us, doing manufacturer spotlights, where maybe he's doing a informative video on the history of the manufacturer, telling you where somebody came from. We did that for someone like CZ. We'll be doing it for countless other of our manufacturers. Maybe it's a product spotlight where we're speaking on a specific SKU or firearm that the manufacturer makes for us. What I'm trying to add to this is that we are creating content ourselves that we post on our site that you'll be able to pull from our data.
Absolutely. And so you want to pull all of this data because the team at Second Amendment is taking a ton of their time to create all of these different assets. You can pull it, you can display it on your site to sell. You're pulling the product name, product images, the description, the web copy that's all ready to post on your site, MSRP, map pricing, and most importantly, you're also pulling the available quantity on hand, what they actually have in stock in their warehouse, so that you can then sell those products on your e-commerce site. You can refresh this data pretty frequently. There's a bunch of different e-com providers in the industry, and each one varies. You know, some are like every 6 hours or once a day, or, you know, at Celerant, we can refresh these data feeds as often as one time hourly. But of course, depending on the vendor also depends, because every distributor does things differently, and depending on how quickly they can push out the updates will also depend on how quickly we or any other e-commerce provider can then pull. So the concept of online product feeds is definitely not new. It's something we've talked about in the industry for a really long time now, probably, I mean, gosh, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 years. I think it all started back with AccuSport years and years ago. But one angle or one way to look at it, which people may not realize, is you can get faster access to distributor products by having these online feeds. So of course, you know, getting the images and the descriptions and all of that just really helps, but you can actually get faster access to the products, which this past couple of years has just been so important because of the pandemic and because of low inventory. And, you know, frankly, it still is a challenge now. It's starting to balance out a bit, but of course, it'll take years before we're back to where we once were. And so I want to just explain this process just so it's super clear. So when you pull your distributor product feeds, you can set it up where you may pull, because you're pulling that quantity on hand, you can set it so that you pull with like a minimum level. So you can set, let's say for this particular product, I want to have a minimum, I want to know that Second Amendment has a minimum quantity of 2. Once they hit 2 or less, I'm not going to show it on my website. But as soon as Second Amendment has 3 or more, my website is going to automatically know that, and it's going to automatically display that product for sale. So you as the dealer didn't need to know that Second Amendment got it in stock, didn't need to know that they have more than 2, didn't need to post that on your website and display it. It all happened automatically because that's an item that you want to sell. And as soon as they have it in stock and show that quantity of whatever you set it to be, in this case 3, you're going to have it displayed on your website and available for sale. So your customers could be seeing that product and have already made the purchase before even some of your competitors realize that Second Amendment even has it in stock. And of course, now hopefully it's sold on your website. So it's just kind of looking at it from a different perspective. And it's a huge, huge value that you as the dealer get by getting faster access to those products as soon as they become in stock at your distributor's warehouse. The other important angle of this whole online feed is the endless aisle. So that's an industry term, but basically what that means is when you're not stocking the merchandise in your store, you can offer so many more products. So you can offer an endless aisle. So you can offer, you know, more products, you can offer wider product lines, you can offer and sell on your website so many more products than you may sell in your store because you're not stocking the merchandise. You're pulling those products and images and descriptions and all of that from your distributor who you know has it in stock. And in that case, of course, the order is sending to them to drop ship. Now, your website is smart enough, well, with the Celerant websites, you can also sell on your site any product that you do have in stock in your store. And the website will be smart enough to know, okay, this is an order that is in stock at the store, so it's going to send it to you to fulfill from your gun shop. Versus this is an order that you don't stock in your store and it has to go to Second Amendment to then be drop shipped on your behalf. So the website will know based on the order, based on the products, and then it's going to send the order to the right place to then be fulfilled either by you, the dealer, or by your distributor. And in the end, your customer doesn't know any different because all they want is to purchase the product on your site and get it delivered a couple days later, whether it's you or it's your distributor actually shipping it out.
Then we put in a slide on the following, kind of highlighting what that would look like for us.
Yeah. So you can see here, this is from Second Amendment. I mean, look at all these, this is literally an endless aisle of all these products that you can sell.
Right, this is without you stocking any of this inventory, but your customer is able to purchase from you directly. This is obviously our website, but it's just an example of the amount of inventory that you can display for sale just by partnering with us here. So.
And then Crystal showed too in his product demo, when we pull in the Second Amendment feed online, how easy it is for you as the dealer to then set your pricing rules, set your department structure. You know, you can do pricing rules, and you can set your price based on a percent over your cost or a dollar amount over your cost, or if you wanted to, you know, make sure you don't go below MAP pricing. Like, we have all these different rules that are preset, so to make it as easy as possible, so you don't have to manually do all of that either. You can just pull in the product feed, set the rules by department or however you want to set it up, and then everything will be priced for your e-commerce site, and then just displaying instantly. And you can also pull all the product descriptions. And one thing that does set us apart is you can pull the descriptions from Second Amendment, but we also give you the ability to edit those descriptions. So you can very easily edit any content that's coming in from 2AW and make changes to make that content on your e-commerce site a little bit more your own, a little more personalized, because of course, Google, as you may or may not know, to help perform better on search engine rankings, to help get your website closer to page 1, you have to have unique content. And if every dealer has the same website with the same content and the same descriptions, it's definitely not going to help you to get ranked closer to or on page 1 for Google.
Was I muted when I was speaking earlier?
No, we heard
Okay.
you. You're good. So when we think about online product feeds, we typically think about powering an e-commerce site, right? That's commonly what is used, and that's how it works. But what if you could take that same technology and that same feed from Second Amendment, and you can use that to power your brick and mortar store? So that's what we offer, and we call it our in-store kiosk. And so let's say a customer comes in your store, they want to purchase a product. Maybe you don't have it in stock. Maybe, you know, you carry it typically, but you're out of stock. Or maybe you just don't even stock it. It's just not something that you ever carry. You could tell that customer, you know, go on my website. It's available online. You have your product feed. You know that. They can drop ship. So you can tell your customer to go to your website, make the purchase. They walk out of the store. You don't know if they go to your website, they make that purchase, they go to your competitor down the street, or they just get sidetracked and move on. So when they're in the store and they're looking for that product, if you could just pull out your kiosk, and, you know, as far as the computer, it doesn't matter. It could be an iPad, which is what you see here. It could be an old desktop. It could be an actual kiosk, like nice setup. You know, the hardware doesn't matter. The software is what we create. And so it's the kiosk. And when your customer is in the store and talking to you and looking for a specific product, you can pull out your kiosk. You can pull up your distributor feed, your Second Amendment feed. You can do a search. You can search by department. You can search by brand. However you want to search, you can pull the product up. You're getting visibility into Second Amendment's entire catalog. Again, everything they have in stock in their warehouse. So you pull up the product, you have the product image, the product description, everything that you would typically show on your website, you're now showing on the kiosk. You show it to the customer, you can complete that sale right on the kiosk. Then you can have Second Amendment either drop ship that to your customer, or you can have them ship it to your store, and then you call the customer to come back in and pick it up. So it's all about capturing more in-store sales, offering all the products that Second Amendment has available on their feed and in their warehouse, but in your store, not just on your e-commerce site. And so that's the kiosk, and same thing, it updates hourly, and you can place those orders right there. So the last piece of this before we flip to a quick product demo is the drop ship. So you've got orders coming in through your website, you've got orders coming in through your kiosk, all these different things, these new products, new product lines that you don't stock, it's all coming from your distributor. You have your distributor then drop ship to your customer. So first, let's just talk about a couple of typical fulfillment methods. Of course, you can just have them purchase it on your website and you can fulfill the order yourself. You can do buy online, pick up in store. That's BOPIS, as we call it. We also offer ROPIS, which is reserve online, pick up in store. You can do curbside pickup. We have like a curbside pickup app with text message notifications and all that sort of stuff. If you have multiple store locations, if you're a larger dealer, we have tools in the software that can automatically route your e-commerce order to the best store, meaning the store best equipped to fulfill that order, because of course we know what store has what, and it's all preset logic and rules. So That's for the bigger dealers, with multiple locations, but that's available as well. And of course, on our e-commerce, we have what's called an FFL locator, because of course you can't ship a firearm, your distributor can't ship a firearm direct to consumer, but they will absolutely, and I know the Second Amendment team will absolutely drop ship firearms, but it'll go to a local FFL. So your customers on your website can use that FFL locator and select a local FFL that they'll then go, there to complete the transaction, and then Second Amendment will drop ship it to them. And so, again, it's just all about automatically routing the orders to your distributors, letting them ship it. And I think, Jaron, you can speak to this better than I, but correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that Second Amendment obviously ships accessories, firearms, and everything, but you don't even have restrictions, right, for order volume or?
Yeah, as far as order minimums or anything like that, I mean, we have a $500 minimum to integrate with you to share our data, just because that could get pretty spicy. So we want to make sure you're a serious contender. But it's a one-time $500 purchase. So that's a wrap as far as sharing our data with you. And then secondly, $11.99 to ship. So that's
a whopping $12.
Yeah, we'll save you a penny. We'll save you. Hey, it adds up.
Yes, for sure. All right, so we talked about a lot of different things. I personally have talked probably too much at this point. So I want to just kind of bring it all together, though, just to kind of highlight everything we talked about. And we have dealers who do some of these things. We have dealers who do all of these things. You can start small. You can start with just your brick and mortar, do your e-com later, or the opposite, start with e-com and do brick and mortar later. But again, as a recap, product import, you're pulling in the distributor's products at the point of sale database at the store to help populate and bring everything in, so you're not manually entering all that data. You're pushing orders to Second Amendment and your other distributors electronically. You're taking that a step further and automating that process, leaning on the software to really help you buy the right quantities at the right time with min-max levels and all that. Pushing orders out, pulling back acknowledgements. And then on the online piece, you're pulling product feeds, descriptions, images, available inventory, map pricing, all that stuff. And then you're using that feed to populate not just your e-commerce, but also your in-store kiosk, get more sales in store and online, and then drop ship to fulfill all these orders that are coming from your distributors. You're drop shipping. So we have dealers who do this with, one distributor. We have dealers who do this with 6, 7 distributors, and then literally everything in between. And so every dealer's experience is going to be slightly different, and who you're ordering from and what you want to do first. And so we can work with you to set it up. And I know we have some Celerant dealers on the session today as well. So you guys are pretty easy. You're already using our software. You're already ordering from Second Amendment. So you can just reach out to your account rep at Celerant, and we're happy to work with you and get this stuff set up. Like I said earlier, though, it does have to be set up. It's not something that's just there that you can run with. You have to have it set up, because in most cases, you're going to have unique customer credentials, so that when we enter that into our system, we're pulling for you everything that you should be seeing from Second Amendment, whether it's special pricing or whatever it may be. So it is something that has to be set up. And then, of course, if you're not using our software, hopefully your software provider can do a lot of these things too. But we, of course, are eager to talk to you as well if you wanted to kind of learn more about us and our software. And so this is just a quick slide. Some of the dealers today may be using a software not built for firearms, QuickBooks or something, or maybe you're using, an outdated platform, or maybe you're just using a bunch of different systems and kind of piecing it together, or maybe it's not even speaking to each other. So we offer a complete solution. It's point of sale, it's A&D, it's 4473, it's inventory management, it's e-commerce, it's range management. And we like to give our dealers options. So like, for example, we have our own internal A&D book, but we also have dealers who prefer to use Fastbound or Gunstore Master. And so we have integrations to them as well. And then the dealers can just choose, how they want to run their business. And we do offer just 2 solutions to the industry. We have Cumulus which is our lighter solution. It's meant more for small business, more of the single store mom and pop shops. And then we've got our Stratus Enterprise, which, you know, has all the bells and whistles. It's a much more comprehensive system with a lot of different functionality. Both have e-commerce. You know, the J's, Sporting Goods, Vance Outdoors, Turner's, they're using more of the Stratus platform, and then our smaller dealers are typically mostly using Cumulus. But the big benefit is you can start small. You can start small with Cumulus, add on as you grow, and then eventually, if you want to upgrade to Stratus, it's a nice, easy upgrade path because it's the same software. Okay, so with that, I am going to flip it over to Chris. And again, Chris is in Illinois. He's going to give us a product demo. We're not going to show the whole software. If you want to see the whole software, we're happy to do that for you, you know, one-on-one. But Chris is going to show the integration specific to Second Amendment. So let me just, oh, Chris, can you take control, or do I have to give that to you?
I think you have to give it to me.
I think I just did.
Here we go. Yep.
Perfect. Yep, we see your Cumulus.
All right, perfect. All right, so yeah, absolutely. If you're interested in our product, please reach out and we'll give you a full-blown demo. This is just kind of a little section of it, and the focus is how our software works really well with Second Amendment's software as well. So one of the biggest things that I'm sure you feel is the biggest time, what takes you the most time is when putting the product into the system and receiving it. So the way that we do this is we allow you to do it at once, and we allow you to do it pretty quickly. Now we do have our catalog item import all through, strewn in different areas, but right here is just the PO. So we're going to assume that, you know, pretend like you made an order, whether it be online or via email, and now the products have showed up at your back door, and some of them are new products. So you're just going to put this together like I did, and you know that the product isn't in your database, because once it's in forever. But I'm just going to hit find product and then search catalog, and then now all of a sudden I can find Second Amendment, and I can start scanning them into the system. Now, as a setup beforehand, we can also start entering the products by brand or by classification. But in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and start scanning. And so I'm just going like this. And so down here, all of those came in. And just know that whenever I have a go-to meeting, sometimes it slows the system down so it's not so slow. So, but here we go, all four of those items that I scanned. And you'll notice one of them is highlighted in yellow. Well, if you look up here, it'll say, hey, that's already in your database. So, okay, cool. So I'm just going to go ahead and I can see here that here's the price. Over here, I have the model number, all the A&D important things, the caliber, the gun type. Then here I have my last cost, which we're tracking that all the way around. And then Second Amendment Wholesale's part number, and whether or not if there's a mapping price attached to it. But in this case, I'm just going to flag this. Everything gets put up, and I hit bulk chain selected. And now I'm just going to quickly go in here and set these products up. So what I'm doing is doing all these products at once, right? I'm doing 3 products at the same time. So if I needed to add anything on the back end, you know, if there was a different importer or manufacturer, I can manage that here, but I don't. So now I've done all that, and you can see here I got firearms new and new pistols. So next thing. So here I want to set the pricing. So I'm just going to set the pricing on. I could use just these pricings here if I wanted to, or I could go like this and say, hey, I want to do percentage over vendor cost. Let's say I want to do 33. I want it to round to the exact. I could set my web price here if I wanted to, which there's more than one place where I can do that. But I'm just going to go ahead and go like this. And then now I've set the pricing. I've set all the products up. And now the products are being pulled over, and it's going to bounce me back into my PO, which is right here. And then let's just say that, you know, I'm ordering one of each, and I hit save, and you can see it all comes in nice. I hit save, and I get an error message saying, hey, you just brought in a product that is a serialized product, and you didn't add the serial number. My mistake. I highlight, I hit serial, and now if I can scan it, it's like if it's scannable, I can scan it. Otherwise, I can enter it manually. You know, there's a lot of different thoughts on that. Some people say it's better to do it manually, just to make sure that it's right. So then I'm just going to go ahead and hit save, and then give this just a second. And here's the receiving statement. And then now I can print out the tags if I so choose. Otherwise, we will be able to scan the manufacturer's barcode, which came over, by the way, when we did the integration. But you can see here that the tags look great and really clear. So once that is done, now I'm obviously ready to sell the system, sell a product rather. And at the same time, it's going to automatically go into our A&D book. So one move to get the product to create, receive the product in one move, and then it'll also automatically update your A&D book. So here in our book, you know, you can see all of these different fields where you can search and pull up products in a hurry. So ATF comes in, you know, they know that it came from a specific person that you sold it to, you know, you're going to be able to pull all that stuff up here. But the next thing is, Michelle talked about auto ordering based on a min-max. So on one hand, we give you the ability to import the min-max. So, and that would be right here. So if you already know how you want, if you already have min-max attached to your products, say that if you're with another system, we can just import those into the system and you'll be good to go. Otherwise, our system will also base what your min-max should be based on sales history. So it'll look back over the last 6 months or the last 12 months, however you choose it, and it'll automatically assign the min-max. And then once a week or twice a week, whatever the arrangement is, you're going to be able to automatically send a PO, which looks kind of like this. This is doing it manually. And I'm just going to go like this. Second Amendment, of course. And then just go like this. And then, so you'll see here that this will pop up, and it's all items based off of the min-max. And so with that, you know, you can determine whether or not you really want to put those in. You highlight, you hit action, and you hit create PO, and then you'll be able to send it to the Second Amendment. Or you can just, like Michelle said, you can have it done automatically. So another aspect to our system, of course, is our website. And here's a look at one of our templates. You'll see this is nice, neat, clean. The brands that are on the bottom here, you choose which brands these are. And when you customer clicks on them, it'll go directly to that brand. It's not going to redirect them off of your website. So here, we're going to take a look at the handguns, and you know, obviously this guy doesn't have 5,400 handguns, but it's, again, nice, clean. There's a lot of filtering, and look at how fast this is. So this is a Savage pistol. So I go brand, and if I want to go right to a Bursa, I click on it, and it already went there. And so I can click, and let's say I want to buy this, here you can do in stock, you can show just what wholesale, Second Amendment wholesale has, or you could have just what you have or both. And now here, I'm just going to add to the cart, and I'm going to go ahead and check out. And I already have an account, and I'm going to go ahead and log in. And by the way, with my account, I'm able to check to see, my previous orders and all that stuff. So here I have my FFL locator. I hit search, and here they all are. So I click on that FFL locator. I get an email saying, hey, Chris, thanks for your order. And now you get blank copied on that, and to come into here, and you're going to click make POs from customers, from customer orders. And let's say that, this is that order. So we actually require that you go into here and hit action, make PO. It would automatically pull up Second Amendment, but I don't have this connected to that website. And then you could flag it as drop ship, and then you'd hit OK, and then it would drop ship directly to Second Amendment. Now we make you do that because we also want you to check that FFL that the customer selected to make sure that they accept transfers. As you know, some people don't like to do that. Some people go out of business. So when it comes to non-firearm products, the system is going to automatically send those POs to the Second Amendment. So what's great about that is, it'll do it like 4 or 5 times a day. And, I get the question a lot, can you set it and forget it? With firearms, no, there's some responsibility on your end, but with non-firearms, you don't have to. Michelle, how am I doing on time? Should I keep on going?
Yeah, we can go for maybe 2 or 3 more minutes, and then we have quite a few questions, so we'll want to leave at least 10 minutes at the end.
Okie doke. So let's pretend that you signed up and you're ready to start building your website. So the first thing, you're going to set the pricing rules, and it's very easy to do. We do it by price. So let's say that you just wanted to do your apparel first, and you want to include all brands. You would just say anything between my cost between $1 and $250. I want to do it 33% over cost. Down here, I could flag this and just say, hey, just use MSRP, or perhaps I just want to go use MSRP, but let's just go 5% below, or maybe I wanted to do it $2 below. And then of course we have MAP pricing. So you're never ever going to have to sell products below MAP. And so other things that are pretty cool, if I go launch my in-store kiosk, you can see here, here we go. So you can see here, here's my website in edit mode. So I could change out this, I could use this little thing, means edit. I could change out various aspects of the web, but I can also check out the product right here. And you can see that Second Amendment has 59 of these. This is their cost. And this is our demo unit. So Second Amendment guys, if you're looking at that and saying, that's not the cost anymore. It's just because, again, this is just our demo. But one of the things that we do that the others don't is that we also give you the ability to go in and provide different short and long descriptions into specific products if you so choose, or maybe if it's a used gun that you have that you're selling and you want to say, hey, there's a blemish on the left side, you can put that right there as well. So once that's done,
and also here, sorry, Chris, I just want to jump in here. So what you're looking at here is the dealers logged in to their admin side of their e-commerce site. So you can just drag and drop your product images. You can drag and drop that site top navigation. It's very easy to just move things around, change colors, update, banners and logos, and swap out videos and graphics. It's kind of like just using Word, the way we have the wizard set up.
Yeah, really cool things. And then, another thing you can do is the system does give you the ability, if you wanted to look up a specific UPC, so a customer comes in and says, hey, you got, such and such, you can just go ahead and put it in, and, you can see that, what you have going on here. So that's, I think that's pretty cool too. And then, we're also going to set up the different department class, subclass structure where you can put it yourself. You can copy kind of what the vendor's already doing, what Second Amendment's doing, or you can kind of have it a little bit more customized. So, like for example, not everybody sells knives and tools or silencers and NFA, but so you can kind of put that in. So I think with that, I have hit everything that I wanted to, and unless Michelle, is there something else I am forgetting?
Yeah, no, we are good. I'm going to share my screen again. Hopefully you see, do you see my PowerPoint now? Back to the PowerPoint, right?
Yes.
Okay. So thank you, Chris, for that. We have about a little less than 10 minutes left, so we can flip over to some questions. But before we do, just really quick, we do have a special where we can help any of the Second Amendment dealers get started pretty easily with our software. And so we're offering first month SaaS free. So that's your whole SaaS package. So your point of sale, your e-commerce, your range, your A&D book, even if you add on things like email marketing, because we do have our own email marketing platform, or SEO services, that whole first month can be free. But even more importantly than that, for this promotion, we're offering all of your Second Amendment and all of your distributor integrations at no cost. And so that can really add up, because that can be anywhere from $30 to $40 a month, depending on, the different types of integrations. And so that's not just first month free, that's the entire your entire relationship with us. Those integrations would be at no cost. So it could be a savings of $30 to $40 or more dollars each month. So that promotion's available, and we're happy to extend that to help get you guys started. We will flip over to some questions. We put a couple of questions up first just to kind of kick us off, things that we know are pretty commonly asked. And so the first is, does Celerant integrate with my distributors? So obviously we integrate with Second Amendment, but we do integrate with a lot of different distributors. And so you can download the list, that web link right there. You can download the entire list of all of the distributor partners that we work with. Of course, each distributor is capable of doing different things, and so we can't do everything with everyone because they're just not able. We do everything with Second Amendment, as you've seen today. So next question, how fast can a dealer go live with our software? And so that's a pretty common question. And so typically we say that dealers can go live within, say, 4 to 6 weeks. If they're, now of course that's Cumulus, that's not Stratus. Stratus is our more enterprise solution, and it can be longer than that, and is longer than that with Stratus because it's a more comprehensive solution. But for Cumulus, we typically say 4 weeks to 6 weeks. We do offer a fast track where we've gotten dealers live in as little as 1 week, but that has to be communicated from the start, and then we all work towards that end goal, and we call that the fast track. And of course, it can also take longer depending on different factors. So, if you have your credit card processing already set up, if you're already an approved dealer of all the distributor feeds that you want to pull, that helps make the process go much faster. And it can also make the process a little bit longer if you don't have that stuff set up yet. So it really varies, and it's going to depend on each dealer's situation. How do I start my integration with Second Amendment Wholesale? So if you're already a Celerant dealer, you just reach out to your account rep here at Celerant. And if you're not sure, you can always just email me. It's msalerno@celerant.com or info@celerant.com, and we can help however needed. And then on the Second Amendment side, I think everybody on the call is already a dealer of yours, but Jaron, you want to walk through, just in case someone's not, how they can become an approved dealer if they're not already?
Yeah, actually, I think we even have it on the following slide. We've gone back to James. We made a video. It makes it really easy to tell you 3 simple steps to get signed up with us. Effectively, it's just give us a login, make a password, and then just getting your dealer documents in, if you have an FFL or not. Most important really is to get your state sales tax certificate or whatever your state calls that. Basically just showing that you're a business and you register to pay state sales tax. So it's as simple as that, really. You can do all that yourself through our website, or you can have one of our reps or customer service people facilitate that for you because, you know, technology can be a pain in the ass. Either way.
Awesome. All right, good. So let's flip over to some questions from our attendees. We have quite a few here. This first question, well, it came from Jose, but it looks like he has left, so I can just answer that question offline. Kevin asked, is this being recorded so I can rewatch it later? Absolutely. So this entire session is being recorded, and once we conclude, I'm going to just convert it, and then I'll be emailing it out to every attendee, every person who registered, actually. So even the people who registered but didn't make it to the session will get the recording. So you can absolutely rewatch it. Kevin also asked, can I attach this software to QuickBooks? So I'm assuming, Kevin, if you're still on, that means QuickBooks for accounting, because QuickBooks, of course, has point of sale, but we do integrate to QuickBooks accounting, and that's QuickBooks Online. And so we have a full integration there to support that.
And if you do QuickBooks accounting desktop, we do have the ability to export out a CSV file that you can import back up into it.
Perfect. Thanks, Chris. All right, so Stephen is asking, how does drop shipping work with allocated products if you don't have enough points with it being an automated system?
I can either answer that or Dylan maybe could.
Yeah, I'll jump in on this one, Jared. So basically, it depends on how much it is. That's actually a really good question. 9 times out of 10, if it's a highly allocated item, it is not in the feed. So that is something kind of important to keep in mind, just to prevent those kind of situations. But if it's a lower allocated point status, not requiring many points, then it will normally be in the feed. But if you ever do run into one of those issues, which we have in the past, but it's very rare, and drop shippers normally have the most points because of all the other items that are going through. So only getting started, it might be an issue, but after that, it shouldn't be an issue.
Okay, thank you. And so Dennis said that the product demo seems to be hopping around a bit. And the website is interesting, but he's not understanding if we build it or we have to have your own. So Dennis, apologies on that. We were trying to show only the integration specific to Second Amendment. So we weren't doing a full demo from like start to finish. So if it seemed a little confusing, we're more than happy to give a one-on-one demo that we can schedule separately, and we can kind of walk you through the whole process, and it'll be, you know, much more clear. But to answer your question about the website, so we would launch your e-commerce site. If you have an existing site, you know, we would potentially launch a new site and we would build it. We design it. We have different options for design, and then we're pulling product feeds. And so that would be an e-commerce site. It's called Cumulus e-commerce. Or if you're a larger dealer with needs for a more custom site, we can offer our Stratus e-commerce. But it's a Celerant e-commerce site that we would build for you and launch for you and work with you to get live. And that would be pulling the distributor feeds and also integrating with your software, your Celerant software potentially at your gun shop, and if you have a range as well. So our software can handle the entire business in store and online. So hopefully that helps. How many integrations are included with a package? So great question. So I'm actually going to, we had another question here asking about pricing. So let me just pull up, I'm going to pull over, I should say, one quick page. And you can just click on, you can go to this page at celerant.com/2AW-promo. But this is just a web page with lots more information. But what I want to do is scroll down to this section here, and this is obviously the pricing for Celerant. So we have some different bundles. We have a point of sale bundle, which is brick and mortar only. We have an e-commerce only bundle if you don't have brick and mortar and you only have e-com. And then we have a POS and web bundle that offers both. We have a bunch of different bundles though that we offer for firearms. So if you visit this page, you can click on that download all bundles, and you'll see all the different bundles that we have available. But as part of this promotion, you get first month free, but you also get all of the distributor integrations for free. every month. So that's not just your Second Amendment integrations, it's all of your distributor integrations. And we have over 15 or more different distributor integrations. So to answer your question, Dennis, how many integrations are included with these bundles as part of this promotion, all of your distributors and all the integrations you could do with them would be included at no cost, no additional cost. Okay, and then let's see, Marcus has a question. Do you integrate with FreshBooks? My bank Chase is soliciting this platform. So Chris, I'll let you answer this. I'm assuming FreshBooks is maybe a processor or
well, if it's a processor, we do not, but we do have 4 credit card processors that we work with. Also, we do not require that you process on the system. So if there's somebody that you need to use, have to use, you can do so. And when it comes to the point of sale, again, you would just not be processing on the system. If that's an accounting package, again, the exporting out to a CSV file will accomplish that.
Got it. And then we did have another question that asked, are we required to use your credit card processing? And Chris kind of just answered that one too. No, we offer quite a few different options. More recently, we also just integrated to Fortis, formerly Blue Dog. So we know that they are a very popular processing partner in the firearm space. And so we now support them as well in store and online, but we have 4 different processing partners. And we also have gateways as well. And then I have another question here. Are we required to purchase computers from you? And so, no, we don't. We specialize in the software. So we can provide hardware if you want to provide, purchase all your computers from us. But if you want to just use what you have, we can make sure it'll work. Or if you want to purchase your computers elsewhere, that's fine too. We can help you and give you the minimum requirements to make sure you're buying the right equipment. There are a few other questions, but we are at the end of the time. So any questions that didn't get answered, we'll just answer via email direct. And of course, this session, as I mentioned, is recorded. So we will send the link out to everybody. And I just want to thank all of you for joining us today. And of course, thank our Second Amendment team and partner. And Chris, thanks for joining and doing the product demo. And if anyone has questions, you have all of our contact information on the screen. Both Second Amendment and us at Celerant, we're thankful for your time and we're eager to speak with you and answer any other questions you may have. Thank you so much.
Thanks again, dealers.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Take care.